Hey guys, we got another PvP video here today. We're doing Turbo Cleave at about 2k MMR. Marcellus is on his Arms Warrior, Shuk is on the Holy Paladin, and I am on the Enhanced Shaman. Now this first matchup is against Cupid, which is Marksman Hunter Ret Paladin. And what we want to do is we want to focus down the Hunter as much as possible. They have a high damage output and they lack a lot of defensives. So it's very good for us to just sit on him and prevent all that. If they are left unchecked, they do have a lot of CC. But as you see, Shoot got feared there and I ran back for the Tremor Totem. I could have dropped Tremor Totem, then used Totemic Projection. But a lot of people have like a totem focus macro or whatever, where it's like target tremor totem arcane shot, and it just instantly kills. So I like to be close enough where I just drop it, because as soon as you drop a totem, it activates. But as you saw, they had GA and everything there, and the hunter still fell over. He still had turtle too, so I feel like they just didn't expect the amount of damage that was going to come. But it was unfortunate for them, but fortunate for us because we got the win. But yeah, we haven't had too much issues with Cupid comps. But on to the next match, which is Arms Warrior Ret Paladin. Now, we've had trouble with these in the past. They tend to just run us over, kind of, or run us into dampening. But they make a big mistake here, which is swapping to Shuk. And I just realized that the healer went in for a fear and they just canceled it, which is really weird. But yeah. Anyways, they're going for Shuk, so I'm going to take advantage of that and get aggressive with the control on the healer. So I'm going to always go for hexes as soon as it's off cooldown, and also do my best to peel for Shuk by using Thunderstorm and Static Field Totem and just try and pull them away. Now what Shuk's doing is he's trying to force the MLOS away from their healer, which is a great idea. As you can see, the Paladin's still on him, but he's not really getting anywhere, so he kind of gives up and switches. The Warrior is beating me up, but they get back on Shuk anyways. I get disarmed, so I'm just like, okay, I'll lasso the Warrior, just stopping damage. And now they're running against Shuk again. So I'm like, okay, go for the Hex. The Priest gets the death off, which is fine. I should have fate casted, but this is where the real problem is. They lay on hands instead of bubbling, and then that just gave us the free opportunity to kill him. Now, if he had bubbled, Marcellus could have shattered, but it would have gave the priest more time to heal him up. On to the most annoying match, Elemental Shaman, Demonology Warlock. So this matchup is super annoying for us, especially on this map. The one problem that we ran into was I didn't get decurse. Thankfully, the shaman only went for one hex on Shuk, which was kind of odd, but worked in our favor. As you see, there it is. But Shuk had sacrifice up anyways, and I told him earlier in the gate, like right out the gate, that I didn't have decurse, so he would be wary and ready for that. But yeah, as you see, we're trying to get the warlock down because he is stationary, right? He also requires casting. The elemental shaman doesn't really require any casting. Most of their stuff is instant cast, but as you can see, he drops grounding totem and he goes to hex me. But it's really not doing much. He'd be better off hexing Shuk, but I feel like he thinks I have decurse, which is kind of a bonus for us. But you'll see every time we jump on the warlock, the shaman's going to be ready to knock us off or lasso. But here the warlock jumps down. We're like, okay, screw it. Just hit the Ellie shaman. He's closer. If we jump down, he's just going to port back up. So I'm going for a hex. He drops grounding totem. I kill it. interrupt him, and hex him. This stops all elemental damage for 6 seconds, but somehow he broke out. Odd. Anyways, so we're back on the warlock. We're just trying to prevent as much damage as possible, but they're switching to Shook for some reason. We're not sure why. I know paladins do have lack of defensives, but he's able to LOS them fairly easily, which is an issue for demonology because they're kind of stationary. But anyways, we are still after the demonology lock. There's really not much you can do to prevent it other than just knock off their stuff. The tyrant really hasn't been an issue for us lately. It usually is, but it's just this map that's given us issues. Just being knocked off is quite frustrating, and then trying to get back up. But the shaman goes for another hex on me. I just sit it. While sitting at the shaman, we switch to the shaman for a second. As you can see, his health gets chunked down. He drops grounding and then lassos Marcellus. They're trying to get the kill but don't get anywhere. Knocks me and Shook off. And at this point, I'm just getting annoyed. I think as anybody. So Marcellus gets a nice fear. I just say, hey, let's go for the paladin. Let's just take him out. And we get a good chunk of damage on him. Now, as we're after him, they're trying to CC us. But the big problem is they overlap bubble, hex, and fear DRs entirely. So now we're like, okay, we have a 15-second-ish window to kill this paladin. So we just beeline for him, and we get very lucky. I drop Cling Totem, and none of them kill it, so the paladin can't even get away, and he just falls over right here. So we got very lucky that they made a minor mistake like that. You really have to watch your DRs and stuff when you're a caster comp, especially when it's like very far into dampening and stuff, or your healer is just being trained down now, is because you really gotta peel. On to this match, which was kind of weird. This is another form of Turbo, Havoc Demon Hunter enhancement, but the mistake they made is the druid just went for the clone, like the right clone, but stood too close, so I launched him off the edge, preventing him from cloning me. So I get back on top of their shaman. He burrows really early, and they also overlap darkness, which was really weird. But Marcellus gets a fear, the druid trinkets, I get the hex off on the druid, the shaman's running to the other side, and then the healer's on top of the bridge, and the shaman jumps down and under the bridge, which made no sense. So you have to be very careful when running this comp because you lack a lot of defensives. But it worked out in our favor. So, yay. But on to the next match here. We got Shadow Priest Warrior. Now, we've had a lot of trouble with this, but we found the Warrior was being super aggressive, so we just locked him down behind the pillar, and I get a very, very lucky burst off here. 250k Ellie Blast, and that seals the game. So there really wasn't much to explain there, but yeah, don't be overly aggressive. Doesn't work out all the time. But on to the final match. We're gonna have Destrolock Elemental. Now, this one is usually a difficult matchup, but we had a very, very good CC chain on the healer at the end. But to start off with, we want to lock down this Destrolock. They do a lot of damage, as you can see. He pops all of his portals. He has an Infernal out, and he's chunking everybody. But Shook is doing a great job of keeping us alive. I haven't used my wall yet, which is good. I'm letting Shook use his cooldowns first. But here we get the Warlock very, very low, which forces Ironbark. And then Shoot gets a nice hodge on the druid, and he's going to go right for the blind. And then Marcellus is going to jump over in fear. The druid's going to trinket, and then I'm going to hex, and then we finish off the warlock. So that was a very awesome CC. But that is going to be it for the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next one. Later.